Hi everybody, welcome back to another edition of Vocal Diagnostics. Today we're going to talk a little bit about posture. So posture is one of those things we often don't address in great detail. If it's working, it's working, and if it's not working, we seem to spend a lot of time on it because it does help everything else to work more fluidly. So here are a few key points you can remember and just cycle through every so often to make sure your posture is what it needs to be. So the first thing is we're all told, hopefully, we stand noble, stand up tall, right? If you think of the way you might portray royalty on stage, this is a good kind of a mental image to keep in mind. Now, here are a few key points about that particular stance. Number one, the chest should be up and out, shoulders should be down and back. So I like to remember those things because they're easy key words to kind of keep in mind as I'm singing. Chest up and out, shoulders down and back. Does this mean you can't emote and change your character and change your body position? No. But when in doubt, those are good positions to be in. One of the things that we often do as singers is in our effort to have noble posture, we get rigid. So think, for example, somebody from the armed forces standing at attention. Although that has a clean, strong, crisp look, it's not conducive to singing. So what we want to remember is within that noble posture guideline, don't get tight. If you're flexing a muscle or tightening a muscle, it's going to have a negative effect on something else that you're doing. Okay? So now we've talked about the chest, we've talked about the shoulders a little bit. Let's now talk about the stance. Now you can't see my feet very well, but one thing we often do as singers is we square off. So our feet are sort of in this general shape, kind of under your shoulders, and you're flat to the front. This stance is not a great one for singing. It often requires you to flex muscles in a certain way that creates tension or pull somewhere that you don't want it. Or it can also feel just a little bit like you're off balance or like you're rocking. This is not a great stance to be in for a singer unless you're doing it for effect. And if you are, then you're choosing that stance, and often you're able to find a version of that that's comfortable, that allows you to stay grounded. What I prefer and what I recommend for singers is to have a stance in which one foot is slightly in front of the other. Now again, this can get very rigid and feel awkward, so it doesn't have to be a great distance apart, you don't have to lunge. But your feet should be just slightly offset in such a way that you can distribute or shift your weight as you need to. This allows you to be flexible, it allows you to stay low, which is also another important part of singing, so that we're not on our tiptoes ever, or we're not flexing some muscle group down here. Remember, everything that you do within your body can have an effect on what's happening right up here. So, even distribution, legs and knees able to bend and move. You can move your weight, you can pivot if you need to, but nothing is locked, nothing is tight. Those are the basic key points. Thanks so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe to the channel and let me know what kinds of things you guys are working on. Thanks.